What's going on, Alchemy family? This is my first live stream and probably one of my first ever live streams. So go easy on me. But I do have what I want to share with you guys pretty well understood. So I'm just gonna get right into it. You guys are in for a bit of excitement. So I've done alchemy about twice through. The first time I listened to it, I'm a big believer in being a doer and not a dabbler, because I went through alchemy maybe within I don't know, 2 weeks. At the beginning, I struggled really to catch on with the presentations, but after I rewatched the first few videos, I started to build some context and get a foothold, and then I was able to just plow through it. I mean, 10 hours a day. So yeah, that was about the first time. About a year ago was the first time I listened to it. And then here and there, I'll just rewatch certain videos. But anyways, I just want you guys to know that what I'm about to share with you guys, I believe can just be stacked right on top with our current understanding of alchemy and how it benefits our life and allows us to navigate life better and with clarity and intention. So I'm just going to be sharing more concepts that I feel can easily stack, but here's the point, guys. Take it from me. I've watched alchemy almost twice through, and I've read tons of books and audiobooks to develop this understanding, which I'm about to share with you guys. You can go prove it to yourself, which I recommend. If you have to be agreeable, but of course be skeptical of things that you hear and don't just take it for what it is. But lastly, dare to believe, guys. This stuff has helped me experience more love, joy, and peace than I have in the past 30 days than I have in the last 5 years. So anyways, let's get right into it. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. If you're watching this on the replay, please drop a hashtag alchemy or a hashtag David, because we wouldn't all be here if it wasn't for him. So all right, just getting right into it. So this is what we're going to be talking about. This is it's trademarked by a man named Jonathan Amaret, but I'm going to be sharing it here. I didn't come up with this. I don't want to take credit for it, but this is what we're going to be talking about. Okay. Light. It's called the 6 degrees to reality. So it says light, gravity, thoughts, feelings, acceptance, and then I am. Okay. So let's get right into it. So assuming you guys have been to high school in the United States, they teach us in school, and we understand this to be true through science, that the atom is the smallest, it's the building block of everything, right? It's the smallest thing we can see, and inside the atom is the nucleus and the electrons. So we understand this to be the piece or the thing that builds everything in the universe that we have, right? So here's the thing. The nucleus is about the size of a golf ball. And just to put it in retrospect, let's say we're inside the Giants stadium, right? If we could put a golf ball in the center of the Giants stadium, or some football or baseball stadium, that would be the nucleus and its size. And then the first electron, let's say we have a hydrogen atom, which has 1 electron, is way up in the nosebleeds of that stadium. So what are we saying an atom it really is? It's mostly empty space, okay? So here's the thing. What's in that empty space? It's energy vibrating at different frequencies, and it can be measured. So if you guys are, again, I don't think I have anyone live, but if you're watching this on the replay, take a second, bust open a new tab, open Google, our friend Google, right? And type in Google emotional omega frequency chart, or omega emotion chart, or something along those lines. It should come up. It's going to look like a cone, like rainbow colored, and it's going to have words on the side and something else on the side. So I'm going to go ahead, pull that up. This is important for us to understand, right? So like I said, this empty space, it can be measured. It has a frequency in which that it emits. So different frequency, different emotions that we experience as humans, right, are shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. So, and then as you see next to those words, there's the frequency associated to those emotions. So I just want to talk about the next concept, right? So now that we understand that everything is light, and again, words, everything is light, and words are simply signposts that are pointing to that which we really mean. So I want you to understand that I'm talking about the same thing, and I'm going to be describing the thing that we're talking about using multiple words, and I want you guys to get that we're talking about the same thing. I just want whomever's watching this to be able to receive what I'm talking about. So light, electromagnetic frequency, vibration, energy, frequency. These are all, everything that in the universe is comprised of this. Like we say the atom is everything that's, we said that the atom makes up the universe. It's funny because the atom is really 1% of what is, while that energy in that empty space is 99% of what is. And then actually it's probably like 99.9999 because it's everything relative. So what's manifested, the atom, right? The manifested is 1% of what is. Everything that we see, this cup and the lighter, the computer, Facebook, and our cell phones and all this other stuff is but 1% of what is really out there in its entirety. And then we have the 99%, which is the unmanifested. So going into the next topic, right? We have gravity. Gravity can distort light. It changes the direction, and maybe something else has a stronger gravity. So it's actually the energy that you would attract. Something else could be pulling it away because it has a stronger gravity. But gravity is what can distort light. It changes the direction in which that light is. So here's the next thing, right? Again, take it from me, prove it to yourself, dare to believe. But we have thoughts, right? Our thoughts, Einstein talked about this. Our thoughts produce a gravity. It's like quantum physics. It's like some crazy science. Go do your own research. But our thoughts produce a gravity, right? So here's the next kind of in life we use like analogies and metaphors to bridge the gap from things that we do understand to things that we don't understand. So I'm gonna talk about this here. Deja vu, right, guys? You at some point have experienced it. We all have at one point or another. What is deja vu, right? You're sitting here, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Whoa, I've seen this before," and the fact is that you actually have, and we're going to get into that right now. So we have the 3D, which is where we live. Again, Einstein talked about this. Go prove it to yourself. But we have the 3D, right? And this is kind of how I categorize it. We need time, space, and matter, right? And that's what makes up the 3D, because if you don't have time, when did it happen? If you don't have space, where did you put it? If you don't have matter, then that's like the universe before the Big Bang or before God created it all. Like, we didn't have anything, we just had God. So it's hard to differentiate. It's almost like you need the bad to see the good, just to some extent. I know that's kind of like a contradiction in terms, but anyway, so we have the 3D, right, which we currently exist now. And then we have the 4D, right? Now we experience this when we sleep, right? Our bodies don't leave the bed when we're sleeping, but we do in fact experience something in our dreams, right? And here's the thing: the fourth dimension is a lot like this one. It's just a little bit less contingent upon time and space, and we know this because you could go take a nap for 2 hours and have a dream that's spanned a week or several days or something along those lines. So we know this. You can maybe fly in your dream or whatever. It's less, just a little bit less dense than here is the point. And then you have the fifth dimension and above that we call the light realm, where time and space cease to exist, right? So now what did we just cover? Everything is energy. Gravity can distort that energy and change the direction of it, and our thoughts produce a gravity. So here's the thing: deja vu happens when you're hanging out, and even if it's for but a moment, you're thoughtless. You're not producing any gravity. You're not being bound to this dimension, to the time and space of this dimension, and your essence, right? Because here's the thing: we're spiritual beings. We're spiritual beings living a human experience. So your soul or your spirituality, whatever you want to call it, your energy, your essence, your consciousness field, shot right up through the fourth and into the fifth, and even if it was for but a moment, you got to see time non-linearly. You got to go to the fifth dimension where time and space cease to exist. What was is, and what will be is now. So there is only now. There's only, kind of like in here too, there's only now. Like when do you decide to go eat breakfast? In a future now, like 10 minutes from now, which is at 10 minutes from now, it'll be now. A little bit confusing, but I hope you guys are getting my point that you were thoughtless, you weren't producing any gravity, and then you shot right up and you got to see time non-linearly, and you came back and you're like, I've seen this before. And the point is that you actually have seen it before. So now here's the next concept I want to explain to you guys. Hopefully it's not too gross as a dirty cup, but you have this cup, right? And let's say I have another cup. I think I'll just use this lid for the example. Okay, right? Let's say these are the same size cup. And I ask you which cup is, I have a cup that's full of gold chips, like the precious metal. And then I have this empty cup, right? And imagine they're the same size. Which do you think is more valuable? Which is more valuable? Now, a lot of people, when you ask them this, maybe you guys would be able to catch the distinction, but let me know in the comments. Let me know which do you think is more valuable, the cup of gold or the empty cup? And I'm going to explain to you that what's going on here and why why it's the empty cup that is worth more, right? So if you guys go back to that that image I had you guys Google, the emotional omega chart, it comes up. So on the left side, it has the list of emotions we experience as humans and the frequency associated to them. But if you look on the right, it's going to have the expanded and contracted. So here's the thing, guys. This cup of gold this cup is full. It cannot receive, right? This empty cup, I can put platinum in here, which is worth more than gold. I could put diamonds in here. I could put uranium, which is worth more than gold. Right? So it's what am I saying is that this cup is able to receive. So how does that tie into stuff? Right? So your thoughts, and I hope you guys are following me here, and once we get to the end, it's all just, we're building. I have to be, kind of poking around and building context in between, but you guys will get it, okay? So your feelings supersede your thoughts. Okay, so and here's the point that I need to wrap up that last thought on contracted, expanded. If you look, I guess I have to talk about feelings first. Sorry guys that I'm jumping around a little bit. I promise we're gonna get through it and everything's gonna make sense. So for your feelings supersede your thoughts, right? And the relationship is kind of it's a two-way street. Like you can have a thought that can generate a good or a bad feeling, and you can be feeling exuberant and excited, and that might trigger a sequence of thoughts, or even vice versa, right? Or even the opposite. You could be feeling like crap and depressed and sad and all this stuff, and that is going to trigger a sequence of thoughts that is going to feed into that emotion. So here's the thing: your feelings supersede your thoughts, right? Like your feelings are to some extent, they give the intention, right? So if I'm thinking about something I want to attract into my life, right? I want to close this $3,000 SEO contract. I want to get a new BMW, or I want this amazing wife or husband to come into my life, and I want to get to know this awesome person, and I want to be happily married and all this great stuff, right? So if I'm thinking about it, right? And I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking about it. If I doubt that that dream or that belief, that burning desire is going to happen, I'm actually giving it a counter intention. I'm actually pushing away. I'm saying I want it. My thoughts are producing gravity, but my feelings are actually giving a much stronger counter intention, in which you're pushing it away. You're actually doing more damage. You're making it. You're telling the universe, you're telling God that you don't want it because you doubt it, right? So we have to talk about the belief scale real quick. And I promise all these ideas, they're kind of like, they'll just weave together like a blanket or like a zipper or something. So the belief scale, here's the thing. If you can't, you want that husband, right? If you, or even, I had a client that's a holistic physical therapist, and she deals with people that have like pain in their bodies and all this stuff that they've been 10 years with pain in their shoulder. But here's the thing. These people, they come to her and they're like, yeah, I've had this pain in my shoulder for 10 years and I don't think I'll ever wake up another day in my life without this pain in my shoulder. But that's the thing. You're like identified with this pain. It's like you don't even believe that it's possible to wake up one morning without the pain. So you're going to have it. Like you're identified with it. So here's the thing. Your belief scale, right? When you believe something, and we're talking about manifestation and just life in general, being in a state of abundance and acceptance and enlightenment, on the belief scale, you have to first accept that it's possible, and then you're starting to have a little bit of belief, and things can change. Like magic will happen once, because if you don't accept it, it won't happen. If you look up if you Google the word belief, it's acceptance. It says it right there. So you have to first accept that it's possible, and then from there you have to work on the doubt. And here's the thing. I'm going to prove to all you guys right now that you're all manifestors, and you guys have everything in your experience is there because you brought it there. You literally attracted it into your life. Here's the thing. You're laying down in your bed. You don't, again, we talked about this. All this stuff is but 1% of what really is. Everything is empty space. I mean, we know that you're like, well, these walls are solid. How is it empty? Well, our Bluetooth works through it, because if it was really solid, that energy, that frequency wouldn't be able to permeate through the wall. It wouldn't be able to come through, and you wouldn't get signal. But we get signal indoors and in basements for our cell phones and our Bluetooths, right? So here's the thing. You're laying on your bed. You don't doubt that when you kick your feet off the side of the bed that there's a floor there. You don't doubt it. You don't doubt it. You just 100% acceptance, 100% of belief, zero doubt. You just, it's there. It's there. So here's the thing. You want to go get your coffee, right? You walk down your stairs, you take the elevator. You don't doubt that the elevator's there. You don't doubt that the stairs are there. You get in your car and you don't doubt that your car is going to start. But you know how many things could go wrong? You don't doubt that you're going to arrive to Starbucks safely. But you know how much had really, I mean, I live in Miami. I'm waterside, and there's so much traffic and people here all the time. But like every single person on the road had to be following the rules of the road and be driving safely and paying attention. And just one person could have not had their wheel tightened as tightly, or one person, like you don't doubt it. You just accept that you're going to go to the drive-thru and you're going to order your coffee and it's going to be there right in your hand. You're a manifester. You've manifested these things. Again, everything is, I mean, how can you argue with it? Everything is empty space, and you're just, it's the fact that you don't doubt it and you have 100% belief and acceptance. So here's the thing. Your feelings are superseded by acceptance. Okay, if you look back at the emotional frequency chart, the first expanded emotion is acceptance. It allows you, puts you in a state in which you can receive energy and manifest these things into your life. So just going back over, what have we covered so far, right? Light. Everything is light, electromagnetic frequency, energy, vibration, whatever you want to call it. Everything is the 99%, 99.999. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is God. When you're listening to somebody, deep in conversation, you're listening to them, you don't listen to them full of thoughts. You listen to them with an empty mind, and you just allow that you just receive that information. When when you're deep in thought and you're trying to figure out a solution to a problem, you don't do that from a state of overwhelm and confusion and hyperactive thoughts. You do that from a point of silence. I got an idea. Well, that's because your thoughts are, I mean, you've been able to manifest it. You've created it. I mean, like, your thoughts are things. Like this cup, like, at one point in time in the universe, this did not exist. And this was once in somebody's head first as a thought. And then they went ahead and manifested it further into an actual something that has informed. And your thoughts, I believe, are they're like the bridge from the unmanifested to the manifested. So everything in the world is light. Gravity distorts the light. Our thoughts produce a gravity, right? But we have to be our feelings supersede our thoughts, and they give intention. You don't want to give a counter intention. So acceptance, when you're in an emotional frequency of state of acceptance, and whatever you think about, or you can attract it into your life. So that was pretty much it, guys. I'm just gonna wrap up and make sure that we understand these thoughts to the right degree, and we're able to savor these ideas. But here's another interesting thing. Going back to the cups, right? You have a cup of gold, an empty cup. I had somebody one time, I asked him, and we went through the exercise, and then he goes, well, let me ask you, 500 years ago, right, if I have a cup of salt and a cup of gold, you know, what's more valuable? And I said, I don't know, the gold. And he goes, well, the salt, because the gold, it wasn't understood to be rare. It wasn't used as a form of currency. But the salt could be used to preserve your food. It was actually used as it was considered rare. Could be used as a form of currency. So here's the thing, nothing's changed. That gold still is made up of the same atoms, that salt is still made up of the same atoms. What's changed? Nothing's changed except our perception, right? We just however we perceive something to have value. Think of Monopoly, right? Monopoly is a game played amongst loved ones that can cause fights to break out, right? But here's the thing, that money is not worth anything. I take those Monopoly dollars and I go try and buy a car with it, like it's not worth anything because we don't place value into it. But here's the thing, that piece of paper that's in our wallet, right? I don't have any money here, but that cotton thing, it's not really worth anything. It's like what it's made of is virtually worthless, but I accept it. I've accepted it to have value, or a certain amount of value. That person down the road has accepted it to have value. You have accepted it to have value. So therefore we perceive it to have value. So yeah, guys, I do have to get on another phone call in just a few minutes. I know there's one person watching right now. Thank you so much for watching. Just drop something in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought. If you have any questions, if you're following, you're not following, because anyways, here's the point, right? Because I posted I put a headline here. I don't know where it's at, but so here's the thing, right? How do you get to, I actually have to explain this. How do we get to true acceptance and emit that vibrational frequency? Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I actually have the audiobook, and for me that's been most helpful. It's like 8 hours and it's just so easily digestible. But here's what he says, right? You have the mouse hole. I'm just gonna put this over here. You have the mouse hole, right? And you watch the mouse hole, but you don't analyze it, you don't judge it, right? You just watch the mouse hole and you watch it and you go, what is my next thought gonna be? What is my next thought gonna be? You watch. You don't analyze, you don't judge, and you just watch. And you place awareness into your senses and your feeling, your inner energetic body. You feel your toes, right? But you're still watching. You feel your toes. You feel your legs. You feel your thighs, your abdomen, your back. You feel your t-shirt and your undergarments and your shorts and your belt. Just feel it all. For me, I'm waterside. Smell the salt in the air, the humidity in the air, and you just watch. And then you start to realize that all we have is now. That puts you in a state of now. And you can watch and things, you start to look at the trees outside and from a thoughtless point from a point of true acceptance of the moment. I'm not talking about accepting the fact that you have to go to work to pay the bills. Meanwhile, you're trying to build a business on the side and you don't really want to work that job. I'm not talking about accepting something that like you don't want, like you just do it because you have to. I'm talking about acceptance of the now, because that's all we have. And here's the thing, that with the deja vu, I have to tie this thought back in. I hope some of you have seen The Matrix. If you watched the movie The Matrix, drop a hashtag Matrix in the comments. But here's the thing, right? This world, the 3D, the 4D, the 5D, where we are now, it's kind of like the movie The Matrix, right? There's Neo on the Nebuchadnezzar, and then there's Neo in the Matrix. So which Neo is the one that has true choice? The one on the Nebuchadnezzar, because the one in the Matrix is being controlled by the one on the Nebuchadnezzar. And the one that's, for us, I'm talking about us now, for us, the one that's in the fifth dimension, there's a version of us in the fifth dimension, whether you want to call it the universe, you want to see it as a higher version of yourself, you want to perceive that to be God. But then again, God is within all of us. He is the 99% that allows things to be. Here's the thing with that, guys, is our higher selves can see time non-linearly. What was is, what will be is now. So all they have is now. So that's all we have. That's all we have. Everything that is in our experience is already been predetermined. Our higher selves is seeing the future, and that's now. And my point being here is that this is all predetermined, and we're just here to learn. We're just here to learn, and sorry guys, I'm having a brain fart, but we're just here to learn why we chose these things for ourselves. We're here to learn why, like nothing is, going back to the perception, nothing is bad, but thinking makes it so. We just perceive things to be bad in life. So yeah, guys, anyways, I'm really happy that if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and drop your questions in the comments. I want to see what you guys, what kind of aha or epiphany moments I've been able to share with you guys. And this is, like I said, I layer this on top of my understanding of alchemy. It's like alchemy is like the method for life, and like navigating all these things in life and cutting through the bullshit. But I see this as like the revelation and the salvation, right? Because when you're at a state of acceptance, it's easy for you to feel love and joy and peace and enlightenment. It's easy for you to feel those things. If you're angry and you have fear, right? Like literally, if you're getting ready to fight somebody, you might be in a state of fear or anger. Your muscles are literally tight because your emotional frequency is very dense. But when you're at a point of an acceptance, it's very easy to just be at enlightenment and love and joy and peace. And when you accept the moment for what it is, the present, because it's a gift, when you accept it for what it is, life is just bliss and joy and happiness. And it's been great for me to live life in the moment. Like my calendar is for like my schedule, but life is for living. Like my life situation is not my life. They're two different things. Like my life is this moment now that I have right now. But I think I'm gonna close up on that thought. I do have to get a call at 1, and it's 12:48. But I think there was one more thing I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm just gonna try and savor this moment if I can remember it. Well, on that note, guys, I can't remember. So thank you so much for watching this on the replay. I'm happy to have shared this in the Alchemy group. You guys are like family. I want to try and liven this group up. I've noticed online, like I'm a part of all these communities online, and it's amazing. It's like the fact that we can just connect with people instantly that we didn't know, and it's just beautiful, the information that we can we can share and spread across the world in a moment. And it's a beautiful thing. I heard this fact the other day. I'm going to close on this fact. I heard this fact that every day today, every 3 days in today's time, more content is published online than from 2010 to all of history. Like, that's mind-blowing. And the fact that we can share that information instantly, and the fact that we're so blessed to have the method, knowing when things are true, because in the past, people used to die and you know, live shorter lives and make mistakes, right? Because of the lack of information. But today, same thing is happening. People are living shorter lives and making mistakes, right? Because of the overload and the overwhelm of information that's out there. But we have a knife that allows us to cut through the bullshit and understand when concepts are true and things are true, and it adds up, it stacks up, it makes sense, however you wanna spit it. But this has allowed me to like, I feel saved. When you feel real peace, guys, and you're just so present and you're just looking at the tree, like, and it's not what you're looking at, it's what you see. It's a beautiful thing, guys. I'm looking at the ocean right now, and just I'm able to capture the essence of things around me. Like really having, I've never really seen my room before, you know, like before these, being an acceptance and allowing myself to experience love, joy, peace, enlightenment. Like, you can just feel the essence of things, and you feel the breeze in the air and the smell of salt, and it's just a beautiful thing. And yeah, all right, I'm gonna wrap up on that, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Maybe we can do another live stream, like a Q&A. I don't have time right now, but thank you so much. See you guys.